everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got something really special to show you today. So most people know I'm a big fan of Uli Roth, ex-Scorpions guitar player, ex-Electric Sun. He was kind of like the godfather of what they call neoclassical guitar. The guy's been around forever. I think he recorded 5 albums with the Scorpions before he left and started doing his own thing. Anyway, back in the 80s, he created this guitar called the Sky Guitar, and there was nothing else like it. It had an extended fret range, just an all-around hot rod of a guitar, really. And years later, he had started mass producing these through the help of Dean Guitars here in Florida, and they sold for a pretty penny, let me tell you. He's still selling them. I wouldn't say mass producing. They were never really mass produced. I should correct myself there. They take a while to get them built, and man, are they expensive. So I commissioned a friend of mine to build me a Sky Guitar, but he ran into some problems. He only got so far as cutting out, I believe, the body and the pick guard, and he's just had a really he's had a real string of bad luck. So I bought a bunch of parts for it, and I gave him a certain amount of cash to start building this thing 2 years ago, and that's as far as we've got. And I feel really bad for him. Again, he's just gone through a lot of hard times with the hurricanes here. So I found last week that there was a builder overseas building these, but a stripped down version, an affordable version. And so I had to check one out, and it should be arriving anytime soon. This is going to be fun, guys. So all the parts that I bought for the build that was going to happen, that now is not going to happen, I think there'll be a good upgrade for this guitar. Let's find out. Let's find out. Can't wait to see this thing. Now, disclaimer, in a way I feel bad for ordering a copy, of this guitar. But man, they're way out of my price range. But I have seen others, some of the guys at Sky Academy who built their own and brought them in for Uli to check them out. I'll put a picture or two up of that. But anyway, no disrespect intended whatsoever. I've just wanted one of these things for a long time, and yeah, let's see how it looks. Here you go. You got it, guys. Sky Guitar. This one has one humbucker, one single coil, so a 3-way switch. Volume, tone, volume, tone, volume. And what's up with that? Switch here, probably a coil tap, and a humbucker, I'm guessing. Looks like pretty good workmanship, guys. Something going on over here. Not perfect. Plastic off here. I want you guys to know this thing has problems. We've been looking it over already. I see issues. First of all, look at this headstock. Those things don't even line up. This is not a Dean guitar, by the way. It's a cheap copy. Look at that. See how close that is? This one's farther away. Strange. Let's put an edge on that. I think the whole thing's cut crooked. Look at that. Look at the space you got going on. What in the world? Alright, there's one issue. I knew there's some dead frets on this thing, up around 15. These pickups are weak as can be. I don't even know if we can get that single coil out of there. We're going to take this thing apart. Wow, look at the bend on those springs. Look how far up that tremolo claw is mounted. That's kind of odd. That could have been mounted lower, I believe. Yeah, that's got to be redone. I don't know why they did that. It's gonna need some work, kids. But there you have it. Stripped down copy of Uli Roth Sky guitar. The frets don't look too bad. Man, they're rough. Listen to that. A few small dings in the wood. Seen a ding here, a small ding there. Other than that, she looks pretty happy. I don't know how you go about adjusting that single coil because you can only get to one screw for the adjustment. And I have no idea what kind of humbucker that is, but I'm pretty sure all that's going to be replaced. Already broke one. Wow, guys, look at that. Look at the bend on those springs. That ain't right. Keep going off. Take this off for now. Oops. All right, here we go. She's gone, just like that. That'll be easy. Alright, so in order for this beautiful Wilkinson tremolo to go in this guitar, the piece has to be cut out. Right here. This whole piece has to come out. Alright everyone, so that was back in early February. After seeing that I needed to cut out some space for that bridge to fit in there, I kind of set the whole project aside. not knowing whether I wanted to try to do that myself or give it to somebody else. I believe I'm going to go ahead and try to do it myself. I was hesitant about making this video at all because I felt it was sort of disrespectful to Uli Roth, who's been very generous to me over the years. But I did contact Uli and I let him know that I bought the guitar, and he said China's small fries, not to worry too much about it, so he must not be too concerned about it. So anyway, let's take a look at where this guitar is now and what needs done to it and the parts that I have acquired for it. Alright, here's what I've got so far. You can see that I sanded, well, you can see prior in the video that I sanded the Dean logo off of there. I've got to get some tint and put some color on here to match. Okay, got the brooch, you have to have that. I've got this really nice Wilkinson tremolo, which again it still needs cut for that. I got these sweet hip shot tuners. Look at that. Very nice set of locking tuners. They upgraded the knobs to these abalone type knobs. I have these pickups left over from the build that I was gonna do. This is a Seymour Duncan humbucker in a single coil. And Dave gave me this Kent Armstrong humbucker. So I'm gonna get to work on this thing. I know I should have made a video of the original pickups and how this thing sounded. These original pickups that came in it. But I'll tell you right now, it sounded like hot garbage. It was one of the worst sounding guitars I've ever heard. The output was so low that I really couldn't use it at all. I think he used it on one song and put it down. So let's get this thing upgraded and see you next time.